Hello and welcome to Buddha in the Kitchen. Today I'm going to make something very simple. Again, it's Italian, it's simple. One of my favourite desserts, Panna Cotta. And I used to think that the more complicated something was, the nicer it was. Or the more delicious something was, the more complicated it was to make. It's the opposite. This is so simple. I use a David Leibovitz recipe for this. So all you need is single cream. I just use single cream. That's all I use. Okay, that's it. All you need is cream. I use vanilla pods and a little bit of essence. Quarter cup of sugar. This serves about 4 people, by the way. Okay, and in this pan there are 4 bowls of the cream. And I sometimes, for a little twist, because I like little twists, I like little twists. So I sometimes put just 2 dessert spoons of white wine in, or lemon. Today I'm going to use a little bit of lemon. And I use unflavoured gelatin sheets. Now you can get the vegan equivalent. That's them. Okay, just these sheets, which will go in there, just to soften them. So, cream in the pan, throw in the sugar, and what we're going to do is simply heat it up. Not too hot, because we don't want it to, we just want the sugar to dissolve, that's all we want. Okay, that's it. And you just stir it so that it doesn't, get sticky and doesn't boil. And this reminds me of a teaching from the Zen tradition. In Zen, the highest teaching isn't, sitting in the lap of the Buddha or connecting with the cosmic love child within, whatever all that is. But what is it? What's the highest teaching in a Zen monastery? Stirring the porridge. Stirring. This is stirring the cream, but stirring the porridge for breakfast. That's the highest practice or the highest teaching in a Zen monastery. And why is that? Well, it's because we're often looking for the sensational, the wonderful, the ecstatic, the exciting. And we can't live there, see. We can't live in the exciting all the time. And what happens to excitement? It has an end. You get excited, then you come down. You get excited, then you come down. Or, living in sensationalism, which is, our culture likes us to do. It can be exhausting. And if we're honest, it's not that satisfying. So I'm just going to give this a little bit. Yeah. So I'm just making sure that the sugar is dissolving. I'll come back to that. Now, you slice down your pod. Okay, I've sliced that one. I'm going to just slip it in. And I've sliced open this. I'm just going to scrape the pods, the vanilla into this. And this, just the flavour is just divine. Okay. I also like to add a little bit of essence too. Because, I like sort of, I tend to add more than what recipes say. So now we're going to just let that flavour for a bit, just let it. And as I was saying, where was I? Oh, it's the excitement. See, we can't live there. And so what the teaching of stirring the porridge is pointing to, and is that satisfaction or happiness is right here now. If you can't be happy stirring the porridge, you won't be happy anywhere. It's a kind of, I don't like the word training, but it's a kind of training. Just there stirring the porridge. That's as good as it gets. Just here. And what happens when we just here stirring the porridge? What happens to the mind? Oh. What happens to the mind? Off it goes. Off it goes. Here, there and everywhere. Gonna add a touch of lemon. There you go. Let's see how that goes. Gorgeous. Let's have another little. Oh, even that I could drink it. Pour it in a cup and knock it back. Delicious. Yes, so stirring the porridge. What happens when we're here just doing something mundane, ordinary? What happens? So we're here. What happens to the mind? It starts to get agitated, it starts to get restless. It wants to think, it wants to fantasize or regret about the past or, look to the future. What's next? Well, this is not very exciting. This is not it. So I need to be somewhere else. I need to do something else. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to wring out the gelatin, and I'm going to put the gelatin in. So all I've done is soften the gelatin. Just going to put a little bit, another half of one in. That was 1.5, I put 1.5 sheets in there. Okay. I'm just going to put another half a sheet in. So you just soften it in that cold water. Just to soften it a little so that it breaks down easier. See what happens in this, in here, it all breaks down. It all dissolves. So you give it a good stir. And really that's it. Then you just let it simmer for a little while so that it all dissolves away. Yes, so the Zen kitchen. Okay. So the mind, because the quality of our mind reflects or determines rather the quality of our life. Where do you go or what do you do without the mind? Nothing. You take the mind with you wherever you go, you take the mind. That's what we do. I like to go to Italy. Anna and I, my wife, we love Italy, and we go there 2 or 3 times a year at least. We go more if we could. And what do we do when we get there? We do the exact same things as we do over here. We take our mind. So we get up in the morning, we have a cup of tea, we go to the bathroom, we walk up the stairs. Of course we have a lovely time because it's new, and they have lovely piazzas and lovely food and nice wine, and it's great. Blue skies, or more blue skies than we tend to get in the UK. So there we go, we've got this going. So you don't want to get it too warm, too hot. That's just right. You can add a little bit more lemon. And now what we do, a good little stir. We get these, and these are the ramekins. These are what we're going to put them in. So with these, all we're going to do is get a little bit of oil, and just coat them in oil. Where is it? This one. This is the one. A little bit. Just going to coat them. so that when they set, they don't stick. And see, everything for me about Italian food is it's the simplest, but it's also very practical. It's, you know, you can come in. This takes what? This has taken me what? 10 minutes, 15 minutes? Well, 10 minutes. And this now is going to go in these ramekins. Then all you do is just them there and there. Just going to take out that. Take that out. Oh, that is delicious. Now I'm going to put these in the fridge. I'm just going to put them to one side first, just to cool down. But you might not believe, but I did one earlier. This is how you, in a slightly different ramekin. This is one I did earlier. Okay. So let's move this out the way. Need a knife, and what we do is we just go around the outside. Sometimes it's good just to heat the bottom a little bit, heat the outside. So I'm just going to run it underneath the tap, the hot tap, and that just loosens it off. Okay. Well, hopefully it loosens it off. This is actually the hardest part of the whole thing, is getting them out whole. You know, so, you know, everything about working in a Zen kitchen, in the Zen monastery, is about having life reflect you back. You know, it might be cleaning the toilets, it might be, no matter what you're doing, you get reflected back, your preferences, your wants, your desires. Okay, and that's why in Zen work is a part of every day. It's part of every day. Just going to put a little bit of water in this. Because through work, we get reflected back. The world reflects back how we are. You know, I remember when I first went on a retreat, they gave me gardening duty to do. Now, I'm not a great gardener. I don't particularly like it. And I don't do gardening. And then I went on to cleaning out the kitchen when I'd finished what I was doing. You know, I decided I'd come along here for enlightenment. That's what I want. I don't want to do weeding and then clean out the kitchen. I want to be enlightened. Crazy. These ideas we have. These ideas. So I've just warmed this a little just to soften it. And then so now this is the hardest part. So we'll just give it another. Oh, I think it's gone. I think it's, oh, there. Oh, now look at that. Now, doesn't that look sexy? Do you see the vanilla? Now, that's not the end of it. Now watch. This is raspberry compote. Just dollop that on there. Look at that. Look at those colours. Now look at that. Beautiful. Now, how long is that? That has taken 15 minutes and I've been chatting. So I'm just going to get a spoon. Now I'm going to sample my goods. For me, it's the sexiest dessert. It's just, It's divine. That is delicious. The creaminess of the panna cotta, and then the sharpness and the fruitiness of the fruit compote, the raspberry and blackberry compote. Delicious. I'll just have another piece. Lovely. Oh. And do, when you're making it, do taste it along the way, a bit more lemon or a bit more vanilla essence, whatever, a little bit more sugar. Best to put obviously less in and then build it up. But yeah, so stirring the porridge. It's these simple, everyday things that reflect back our mental states. What is our mind doing? What are we dwelling on? What are we looking to do next? Because the mind often thinks about, well, what's next? All well and good me here stirring the porridge or stirring the cream or whisking the eggs, whatever it is, or weeding the garden. All well and good. But I want to do something more. I don't want to do something different or more or less or whatever. So what the training is, and I need to find a better word than train, I don't quite like it. Sounds a bit sort of military-like. Is, well, really, the art is to watch the thoughts, to watch the mind. Thinking. And this is where I'll come back to again and again, thinking. Okay. Because that's all that takes us out of the present moment is our thinking. Some of it's useful, a lot of it isn't. That's the essence of mindfulness. Essence of awareness. The art of being here, of we've got a life, let's turn up for it and savor it. And why not savor it with beautiful food? Love it. Brilliant. Thanks. See you soon. Please do subscribe, guys, and share this if you would. Thanks.